Now, a couple of years ago, all the way back in 2022, my favourite show of all time was released. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, a horror comedy series about three lovable puppets, and the torment they endure day in, day out while being trapped in a never-ending children's show, packed with jokes.
I love my family and they like me! Calm yourself, brother.
And songs.
We gotta get things ready for the big day, big day.
And the kind of monsters that will haunt your dreams for years to come.
We need to make sure the results are accurate, don't we?
Think Sesame Street, but darker. In fact, I love this show so much that I've made not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7... Oh yeah, wait, 7? I've made 7 videos on this show. I've actually made more videos on Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared than there are episodes of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I spent nearly a year of my life almost entirely dedicated to covering this single show, and these videos pretty much built my channel. And so it will always have a pretty special place in my heart, and I still rewatch it from time to time. Which isn't all that difficult given how many episodes there are. It's easy to forget because of how many iconic, memorable moments this show has, but there are only 6 episodes of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And each one is only 20 minutes in length. That's right, this whole season of television is just 2 hours long. I mean, that's shorter than most modern movies, which is actually pretty common for British TV, with a nation of, here's a couple episodes of this really great show and that's all you're getting. Regardless of its success or how large the appetite for a sequel, that's it.
And it's gone.
And I mean, I'm all for quality over quantity, but seeing as how creative this show is, and the sheer quality of what we've gotten so far, I was really praying that for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, this wouldn't be the case. That as the show grew in popularity, they'd go ahead and confirm a second season, or a spin-off, or anything at all set in this world. Just give me one more crumb, I'm begging you. But as the final episode aired and weeks went by and they turned to months, it began to seem like a second season may not be on the cards. And now here we are 3 years on and pretty much nothing. No news or announcements or any sign that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is coming back. So it seems that it may just exist as this short but sweet, perfect run of television. Well, this wasn't until recently, when some more information finally came out, and it seems that potentially there could be more to come. But to better understand how likely a new season of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is, and to better understand what this new season may look like, first, we have to understand the production and distribution side of things for a show like this. In case you're unaware, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared actually began right here on YouTube back in 2011 with 6 short music videos.
What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative.
Created by Becky Sloan, Joseph Pelling and Baker Terry after finishing art school, these music videos range from around 3 minutes to 8 minutes long, and were released over a period of 5 years. And from what it seems, these guys own Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared as a property. They came up with it and put it on YouTube themselves. It's their baby. But of course, you need to feed your baby, or so I've been told, and that requires money. Puppetry can be expensive, and if they want to make 6 of these short films, they're gonna need funding. So back in 2014, after the first 2 episodes had aired, they uploaded a Kickstarter of £75,000 British pounds, which managed to reach its goal and some.
There are further lessons to be learned, especially if the puppets are ever going to understand the true meaning of the universe, and this is why we are calling on you.
This Kickstarter was marketed in a way where the show's characters are being tied up, held hostage, and if the goal isn't reached, then the show's characters will be killed off.
Where are we? Oh dear, we're all tied up. We need money. If we don't raise enough, we'll be killed off.
Which is a really fun way of saying, hey, if we can't get some more money to make this, then this show and these characters may as well be killed off, because you probably won't see them again. So most of the original YouTube series is essentially crowdfunded, and being uploaded to a website where anyone can watch it, which is really smart for an independent production of a brand new property that hasn't been established, because you need all the eyes you can get on it if you want it to succeed. And that's exactly what happened. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared blew blew up, the original short holding more than 70 million views, and the YouTube series as a whole holding 250 million views. And yeah, it's been 13 years, but this was a big deal back in the day. I remember sitting around my crusty family computer and watching it when it first came out. Everyone was talking about it, and how green isn't a creative colour.
Green is not a creative colour.
This was a massive win for independent productions, and a pretty important piece in YouTube's history. So they went and made 5 more, and honestly, what these guys were able to pull off with what is really a minuscule budget compared to everything else in entertainment is breathtaking. These shorts feel seriously professional, and even the first one, which probably, if I had to assume, is the lowest budget of them all, just has this charm about it. It feels like a couple people coming together with a cool idea and making it happen. And the web series would conclude with its 6th and final part in June 2016, 5 years later. So it seemed that Don't Hug Me I'm Scared was over. That was until 6 years later in 2022, when the show was picked up for a longer, higher budget sequel/reboot series, also called Don't Hug Me I'm Scared. Now, there's a lot of contention over whether this is Series 1 or Series 2, and I think it's just so much easier to call them the web series and the television series. But where things get interesting is which network would be funding and distributing this new Don't Hug Me I'm Scared installment, and that would be Channel 4, a network which is owned by the UK government, meaning it's a PBS, a public broadcasting service. But unlike the BBC, where you pay for a TV license, it's actually free to watch all of Channel 4's content, whether it be on the television or on their streaming service. But you may already be thinking, well then, where does the money come from? And the answer is advertisements. Every 10 minutes, they slap on a 5-minute ad break. So Channel 4 is funded entirely by its own commercial activities, and it seems to be paying off. According to Channel 4, in 2023, their revenue reached £1 billion British pounds for the 3rd year in a row. And because Channel 4 is a non-profit, all of this money is being funded back into making more shows, more content. But where it gets interesting is that Channel 4 doesn't actually own the rights to the properties they broadcast. Instead, they commission and fund these series through independent production companies, with the idea being that the original creators can keep the rights to their shows and sell them down the line if they want to. So while Channel 4 would be funding this new series of Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, they still don't own Don't Hug Me I'm Scared as a property. It's a really unique model that's a vital part of the British TV and film industry. But despite making $1 billion smackaroos, this model does have flaws, the main one being the exclusivity aspect. Because while it is free to watch all of Channel 4's content, this only applies if you live in the UK. And if you don't live in the UK, it's not like you can just pay for a membership, no. You can't even access this website. Now, instead of having a site like YouTube where the whole world can be your audience, people from all over coming in to support your project, every country, here on Channel 4, your audience is limited to one single country, and not the biggest country either. Their audience is essentially capped, unless they can find a way to get it onto another streaming service. So what happens when you do manage to have a massive hit on your hands, like Don't Hug Me I'm Scared was? When clips start popping up on YouTube and people are raving about it in every country, not just the UK. And all of these people want to go and watch the show, support it. Well, there's not much you really can do. This is how a government-owned PBS system works. It's UK only. But it seems that finally, Channel 4 and the show's creators have found a way for the television series to reach a wider audience, while still keeping a lot of their independence, because just a couple of months ago, after nearly 3 years of silence, there was a short video uploaded to all of Don't Hug Me I'm Scared's social media accounts, titled Hark. Could this finally be the Season 2 announcement I was hoping for? Or even a new installment of the web series? Well, the video's about a minute long, and it shows a cult gathering in the woods, before an angelic bird pops up and informs us of none other than the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared website.
Hark! I announce a new website has been born on this day!
which might sound a bit anticlimactic, seeing as it's neither a new series announcement nor a new YouTube installment, but this is actually pretty big news, because as part of this website, you can now stream every episode of Don't Hug Me I'm Scared from anywhere. It's worldwide. But there is a catch, and that's in order to access these episodes, you do have to pay for a website pass, which comes to a cost of $12, which may sound like a lot for a single season of a series, but with this show, you really see where every single penny was spent. The beautiful handcrafted sets, the gorgeous lighting, the masterful blend of different animation styles. Honestly, I would pay this fee twice over if I know it's going into the hands of someone who'll put it towards great art. However, the one thing that is a shame about this website pass is that this fee isn't a one-time fee. It does grant you access to the television episodes, but only for 3 years. After that, you lose access. And I think if you're being charged the same amount as a DVD, you do expect to gain access for life, because this is one of the issues that people have with streaming services. How you're paying for access to these shows, which can be moved around these platforms so much that, say, just a week after signing up, the show that you wanted to watch might not be available anymore. It's hard nowadays to feel like you ever really own a series, and I wouldn't be surprised if this 3-year aspect puts some people off, even if it is outside of their control. But I guess my real hope here is that some of the funds from this website pass will almost act as a second fundraiser, a way for the show's creators to raise money for their next project. You see, on this new website, there's an FAQ section, and the second question revolves around the future of the series. And this is where the creators confirmed that unfortunately, at the moment, there are no plans for a second season of the television show. But this doesn't mean that there won't be more Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, because they go on to say they aren't ruling out the possibility of self-funded Don't Hug Me I'm Scared content in the future. Which is honestly fair enough. After all, it's been 13 years since that first YouTube short, and there's a strong chance that they want to move on to different things. And you really couldn't blame them if they did. But if they do decide to make more Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, and it is self-funded, it's interesting to think about what this would end up looking like. Would it be closer to the shorter, lower budget vibe of the YouTube shorts? Or more in line with the television series? Or even an entirely new project altogether set in the same world? Don't Hug Me I'm Scared the movie? Starring Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler is a duck? July 12th.
And I'm interested in hearing what fans of the show would prefer. Personally, I hope that if we ever do get more Don't Hug Me I'm Scared content, it falls more in line with the television series. I just personally think it's more ambitious. It takes what the web series did and amplifies it and expands on it in almost every way. And it's not even necessarily to do with the higher budget, it's just that you can tell a much more compelling story in 20 minutes than in 5. And if it came down to either another 6 YouTube shorts or one more episode of the TV show, I'd take one more episode of the TV show any day. But each to their own. The web series is a masterpiece in its own right, just different. But regardless of what new Don't Hug Me I'm Scared content would look like, they have a real opportunity here with this website. Now, if they do decide to make more Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, from the get-go, they could be released straight onto here, and they'd be selling website passes left and right. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to whether they decide they want to continue this story. I think that Channel 4 series is honestly perfect. There isn't a single flaw in all 6 episodes. Plus, the story is kind of one big time loop that resets at the end of the final episode. It may be a fairly short story at just 2 hours long, but it does feel like a complete story, at least to me anyway. But then again, that original web series is also one big time loop that resets at the end, a complete story.
What's your favorite idea? What's your favorite idea?
And they outdid themselves after that. So who knows? These creators are so talented and have proved that they can explore this concept in a unique way 2 times before. So I have complete faith they could do it again. So if you're a fan of Don't Hug Me I'm Scared and you live outside the UK, I would highly recommend going and checking out this website and just see if it's something you're interested in. This isn't sponsored, of course, it's just something that's been on my mind since the website came out. I know this is pretty different from my normal videos, but I'll be back to breaking down stories stories next month with a video I'm really excited to share. So I never actually covered the Don't Hug Me I'm Scared web series. I meant to, and I just never got round to it, but I have finally started working on that video. Though seeing as how it could very much be my last video on Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, I want it to be good, so I'm not gonna say when that's coming out, I have no idea. Anyway, thanks for watching, till next time.